Jesus Christ, how about these kids still have their jobs? Hey everyone, this is Joe from ActionX. Welcome back to What's on the Tube. I apologize if I'm speaking in a low tone. I'm really exhausted and I'm trying to rest my voice a little bit, but I still want to do this. So, anywho, let's get down to it. If you are unaware, this is What's on the Tube, where each and every week I review a show, specifically subsections. So I do Rookie, I do High School Musical, the musical, the series, but you only care about, if you're clicking this one, Nancy Drew. We're on episode 6, so we're officially past the 5-episode mark. We're now getting more and more deep. We're no longer in the beginning. We're in the middle stuff. And like I said before, if you've been watching my reviews since the beginning, the more and more episodes there's going to be. This is a longer mystery than it's going to be. But anywho, I really did enjoy this episode. Like, they definitely used the masquerade, like the whole mask thing, to their advantage, like the whole subplot. Not that it's full of potential, but I did enjoy it. There's a lot to say. But overall, let's get to the overall thoughts. Anyway, I enjoyed this episode. But let's get down to the plot. I really got no funny banter this time. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this before. I think, or maybe I'm mentioning this for another show. But I think, did I mention that Nancy Drew got picked up for a full season? So definitely a good sign that this is going to keep going for a while. So we'll be doing the whole thing until May. Oh boy, it's gonna be a wild ride. Especially since that it seems like the way they're pacing this mystery. Because I don't know why. Like, I've recently, like, another new show I watched this television season is Batwoman, and Batwoman's going at a much faster pace. They're still taking their time in their 22 episode season, but they're really like breaking like what my expectations for the show was. Well, this one is kind of like lowering my expectation, and that's not a bad thing per se. I'm not saying that at all. It's just that these are both new shows dealing with some sort of. Batwoman's not really a mystery show. That's more like a revelation sort of thing, but still, just making that comparison. Anywho, let's get down to the plot, or the summary. I really don't know. It's hard for me to come up with names nowadays. Anywho, so picking things up, this is another slower episode, to say the least. We're getting more pieces of the puzzle being filled in. I apologize for that. I should move my phone away. Anywho, where was I? God damn it, George. Yeah, George. That was George texting me. Also, let's get the George joke out of the way. I'm honestly surprised. Like, George's family keeps getting more and more real. Like, God damn it, George. Every single week. Last week we got to see more of her mom, and this time we barely figured out that she comes from a maritime family. What does that mean? I really don't know. Something to do with the sea or something. I really don't know. I'm not gonna question much to it. And her mom's dating again. Will he be the one-off boyfriend, or he's actually going to be sticking around? I really don't know. This is Nancy Drew. Anything, like, I throw everything out the window already, so who knows? Probably, I don't know. Anywho, so back to it. The last week we left off in terms of where we were at the mystery with Ryan figuring out he fits into the factor with Lucy. In terms of their past, what happened there? I don't know. We don't know at this point. Nancy's obviously, like, now her side is like, well, Ryan's now connected to Tiffany and Lucy, and they're two completely separate mysteries. And Ryan's the only link. Well, and his family too, but we don't know that yet. But anyway, Ryan's still primal suspect number 1 at this point. Nancy's trying to figure out more about this. It doesn't really go her day, because apparently at the Claw it's inventory day, which I don't know why everyone's out of uniform for some unparticular reason. Is it Dress Down Day 2? I really don't know. Bess is dealing with her like realization that she really likes the driver lady. I still don't know her name, I'm sorry. But she's like, and last week she asked her out, so now they're like, how's the first date gonna go? And she's a little bit nervous because she hasn't been on a first date in a while, which, understandable. Plausible, but understandable. George is, like, everyone's doing their own, like, segment of the mystery. Nick is still figuring out through the files, figuring out more of, like, what Tiffany's research into the Hudsons were, because apparently Tiffany was going to try and uncover their schemies, but she she died. So that kind of stopped there. But it's now apparent to Nick that he needs to pick this up, and he's trying to look for all her notes to figure out where is this smoking gun, so to speak. And the whole thing about this episode, everyone was all about, was these coins, because eventually Nancy goes back home after trying to find some leads, and she apparently finds, she gets visited by, what's his name, Ryan. Apparently Ryan saying, hey, listen, I think I'm being, staked out or something to be killed. And while everyone's like, yes, kill him. He's obviously the person who did this crime. Obviously, the person who, even George makes fun of this. But Nancy's obviously thinking of the, not the short-term fix, but the whole picture, so to speak, where she's trying to like not only figure out Tiffany's murder, but she's also trying to figure out Lucy's murder. And she was playing more on the Lucy side this week, since Ryan is the connection there. She's probably going to try and figure this out. Also, it's imperative to know, and somehow I missed this, considering the fact this is kind of how the whole episode gets played into motion, where she actually breaks into Ryan's house again, and she finds in a weird black invitation for this. I forgot the name of it. It's some mass gala thing. I don't remember. It's some creepy underground shit. And she tries to interrogate about it, but it's like, hey, listen, I'll help you out, but you gotta give me these ancient coins. It's gonna make me a quick buck. Because apparently after the events of last week's episode, he's now officially kicked out of the house. She's kicked out of the family. He has no money. He's broke. So he's trying to get these coins to flip them quickly and get back to his rich lifestyle, which kind of raises the question, like, well, how did you afford a hotel last night if you don't have any money? Anyway, Nancy agrees, because again, she's not thinking about, him, and Tiffany, she's thinking about Lucy, this week, which kind of puts her to odds with the others, since, like, the other Drew crew, okay, let's just stick with that, they're dealing off with Tiffany's thing, and, when, Nick figuring out, like, the whole manifest thing, he's trying to, like, piece together the connection himself. They briefly do get back together and like compare notes and say, hey, listen, he's after these coins. And then Nick says, like, oh, Tiffany has the coins listed on her notes. There has to be a connection here. There has to be something about these coins. And obviously everyone wants these coins, because apparently I forgot to mention this guy from last week. He's definitely crushing on Nancy hard. Definitely giving Nick some worriness that his girlfriend and him might not be safe from outside interference, but obviously that's not the case, because Nancy also doesn't help nowadays, because like, she's always playing the flirty type with him. It's like, you have a boyfriend. Do not flirt with the other attractive man who's clearly more richer than your boyfriend. Anywho, so Nancy decides, okay, I'm gonna help you find out the coins, but you need to get me into this party. Meanwhile, I forget how Nick does it, but like Nick has these connections throughout the. He goes to Ace, which I'm swear to God, where the hell is the Ace episode? Everyone else got their own episode. George got her own episode. Nick got his own episode. Bess got her own episode. Where the hell is Ace's episode? If we get a Nancy's dad episode before Ace's episode, I'm going to flip out on someone. I kid you not. Anywho, also another thing, Nancy's dad is not in this episode. Again, second week in a row. Not complaining. I'm not going to say anything. Just comment. Anywho, so they all converge to the party. Nancy gets Nick his information, and then Nancy gets Jesus Christ, there's so many names in this show. I apologize. Nancy gets Ryan the information he requires, so they go to the party together, and Nick and the others. It's weird, like, this is Nick's thing, and George is really playing the sidekick, so to speak, because like she's not the main focus this week, so she's like kind of bridging, like trying to be nice to Nancy, but also trying to get goody with Nick. Very, very flip floppy she is. And Bess's first date doesn't go well. Another important information I missed. Doesn't go well. These two just clearly have a lot of secrets, and they're not helping each other. And the number one important key thing in a relationship is having no secrets. But so that first date goes horribly wrong, but she gets invited to, like, hey, come help us out with this thing. Also, another criminal thing that Ace was not invited to this thing. Another criminal thing. But anyway, when we get to the party, everyone's converging. Nancy's trying to figure out this whole Lucy thing, trying to connect the Kraken. What was the Kraken? This other mask, these weird specific masks. Handsome dude comes in, tries to like pull her away, try to get her out of the party, but she's like, no, I'm gonna figure this out. And she does get a lead into downstairs after she reunites with Nick, even though, and again, it's another thing, like, these two clearly are good for each other, Nancy and Nick. It's just this whole mystery thing is kind of like, and this handsome dude is clearly driving a wedge between them. I don't know. So Nancy goes downstairs and she finds out Lucy witnessed Nick's mother, who I'm supposedly... she didn't make an appearance during the funeral episode. Apparently she had a flight delay or something. I really don't know. And she's back and she's like trying to explain it, but Ryan's like, you're not really the best person for this. And that's obviously why she's a cheater. She was kissing another dude the night that Lucy went to the party in 1998 or 1999. I forgot what year. I think it was 99, so the same year. And she witnessed them kissing, and then Mrs. Hudson. I'm just gonna call her Mrs. Hudson. I can't remember names this week. She pulls her away, saying that you should not have seen that. And obviously Nancy cuts back to reality. It's like, oh crap! Now she's there, the older one. It's the Mrs. Hudson's current self. Okay, Jesus Christ! Even this whole ghost thing is confusing the hell out of me. I apologize. So Mrs. Hudson threatens Nancy, like, listen, you need to get out of this party. You should not be here. She mentions the father. Like, what does the father have to do with this? Like, what does Nancy's dad have to do with this whole mystery? Considering the fact he's just been AWOL for the last 2 weeks, what is his role in this? We don't get that much into that because Nick, the Drew crew, decide to steal the coins themselves, but it's pretty much ruined considering the fact. And also, the way the promo spelled it out last week was George screaming or something like, something happened, someone's going to die. It turns out, no, this is just part of their distraction. And the only reason why it didn't succeed because Bess was kissing her, the driver chick. And it's like, oh, crap, I forgot. And she gets caught. And handsome dude actually bails them out, thankfully. And before they're able to leave... where was I? I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Again, it's not the best thing for tired me. I'm still doing the best I can. I apologize. Nancy, before they're all about to leave, Nancy spots Orion kissing Lucy, who actually manifests herself in her younger form. But by the time Nancy joins in, she reverts back to her ghostly self, paranormal self. I don't know what you want to call it. And Ryan gets burned because of the ghost touch, and his wedding ring actually gets glowing because oh, that's the key. That's a clue there. So the ghost disappears, and Nancy looks at the ring, and it says Lucy to Tiffany, or Lucy Errol Tiffany. So could it be Lucy actually have a connection to Tiffany, or is what happened to Lucy happened to Tiffany too? We don't know. But Ryan actually tells the truth for once, and he reveals that yes, during the summer they had a summer romance, but his family was against it because Lucy didn't the thing is with the Hudsons is that they want rich connection, they want their rich child to marry another rich child or someone with power, and Lucy did not have that power, so they kind of forbade that relationship, and Ryan got sent away to boarding school. And the reason why he says he didn't do it because he was in boarding school when the events of her death happened, and that sort of is where things ended. And by the time he came back, his parents was just forget about her. We're moving on from her. So now the whole fear is born that does the Hudsons have anything to do with this? The family, not the parents, so to speak, because both the mom and dad are pretty sketchy, so to speak. So. We'll see how that goes on. The episode ends with the whole Drew crew reuniting back at the Claw. Bess gets her romantic first aid. George has to do inventory. Ace is sadly there. Why couldn't they put him in this episode? Actually, no, wait. No, Ace was the driver. But he wasn't involved in the whole scheme. It's that's unfortunate. Nancy talks to the handsome dude, who turns out that he was the one who bought the coins, but the coins were already swapped by Nancy. So the Drew crew now has possession of the coins. And... again, the way Nancy touches his arm, it's even though she's admitting listen, I love Nick, I want to be with him, I don't want to be with you, and while the guy's accepting of it, Nick's looking in, it's oh frack, I'm losing my girl, and the episode ends with the coins magically floating in the air. So these are magic coins, magic, And that kind of where we end things off here. Anyway, yeah, that was a really entertaining episode. Very slow, but very methodical. Again, the whole point of a mystery is that they're moving the chess pieces. Now we can get into my favorite segment of the show, Joe's Mystery Corner. He's gonna solve a mystery. I suck at singing. If you just came from my High School Musical series premiere review, I suck at singing. But anywho, so where are we at right now? So with Tiffany's murder, we have received no real significant process. Nick and the others did their best to make some progress, but in reality, this was just serving Lucy's thing. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, like, I still believe Nick is a Richie douchebag who doesn't know how to properly convey his emotions and his actions. But the more after the past couple of weeks, I do have suspicion to believe that the Hudsons, both mom and dad, have something to do with this whole murder. So my current theory is that I still don't know how Nancy's dad fits into things. He has to pop back up so he can give us some more exposition and so we can get more pieces. But right now, my theory is that since Lucy was dating Ryan and also figuring out that Mrs. Husband was kissing with another dude, Mrs. Hudson killed Lucy on the night. I don't know why she specifically waited for the night of the Sea Queen pageant. I don't know why. I got no theory on that. But in terms of Tiffany, I'm pretty sure one of them found out that she was investigating them, and she decided that. So yeah, my current opinion: the Hudsons. Will that change next week? Probably. How does Nancy's dad and mom fit into this? I don't know. We'll figure that out soon. Anywho, overall, really enjoyed this episode. I'm still clamoring for an Ace episode. Nancy still has to work on her bodily movements. Still got to work on that. I still feel sorry for Nick. George is still pretty cool, like my George. Ace, again, I keep saying this, like, Ace deserves he needs his own standalone episode. We need to know this backstory, and we're running out of episodes for the fall segment because, like, we're on 6. So we only got 3 more episodes left, and I'm pretty sure they're going to save the mid-season finale for, like, a huge revelation. So I can't wait for that. So we only got 2 weeks. Also, just to let you guys know, from what I'm aware of, I could be wrong. So next week's episode is fine, but after that, we're going to go on break. So we'll go on a 1-week break with the show. When I say that, I mean, like, the show. Nancy Drew's going on a 1-week break, so I won't be doing an episode that week, and then I'll be back the next week with the last 2 episodes of the year, and then we will be good until spring. But, and also, yeah, I forgot to mention, Bess is really getting the happy ending right now, because, like, she's got the girl. I don't know how Ace feels about it. I think Ace is more accepting now, because, like, again, Ace is a very different character from when we saw him in the pilot to now. He's definitely got more layers to his personality. Again, we need an episode about him. And I'm happy for Bess. How will this, like, considering the fact that I completely forgot about this. Like, Bess still has the secret that she's not really American. She's a British. Okay, I apologize. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Like, she's from Britain. She has a British accent. So how is that revelation going to affect this relationship? I don't know. Hopefully, this will probably be something they'll save for the spring half. But then again, this is Nancy Drew. Everything's out the window. Anywho, I give this episode 2 thumbs up. And that's going to do it for me this week. Again, I apologize for my low tone. It's just been a very long day. But if you were unaware of this was what's on the tube, I hope you enjoyed your nap. If you want to keep up to what's coming up on What's on the Tube, High School Musical, the series, will be on Saturdays. New episode reviews every Saturday until the season finale, which there's only 10, so we should be wrapping up early 2020. So stay tuned for that if you're interested about my opinions on the High School Musical, the series. I also do The Rookie every Monday, and Nancy Drew. But Nancy Drew, which is probably what you only care about, will be every single Thursday here on ActionX, barring any episode breaks or whatever. So yeah, so I will be seeing you I'll be seeing you guys next week for another episode on Nancy Drew. And overall, if you want to subscribe for more, subscribe to ActionX. If you wanna like this video, you want to share this video, you want to favorite this video, you want to do whatever you want with this video, go ahead. And I'll see you guys next week.